There were a few questions that I asked myself before I left the relationship. If you are already out of the narcissistic relationship, then you've already made it. You should be proud of yourself. I'm so proud of myself that I got out of a relationship that gave me the feeling of that I'm not worth much. And I could be a better person. That's what he also often showed me or displayed in front of me, that could be better in a way in my decision making. He even said that he can't trust my decisions and I would have to trust his. So after all the gaslighting, whatever you've been through in a relationship, you're already over it. But the people who are still in the relationship, they have a very hard decision to make, because leaving the narcissist just hurts. It's like a chewing gum battle. I never thought God would put me into a situation where I'm on such a battlefield of having to be so strong. And now afterwards I can say, that's why you did it, because you get a strength out of that which you don't get by lying at a beach at a pool with your loved one and just flying through the world. You will get your strength by showing the world, I can do this, I can walk my talk, I can travel alone. I'm right now in Assisi, in Italy, and I'm so enjoying this. I mean, if no one else can enjoy it with me right now, why not enjoy it by yourself? But before you leave the relationship, this is what this video should be about, is that you have to ask yourself certain questions. So before I left, in those weeks when it was funny, because when you are weak, the only thing you can do, because you're in survival mood, it's like you start just listening to him instead of interacting. I changed my whole philosophy in those weeks. I didn't react to him anymore, which already upsets a narcissist in every single way possible. I said no to things that he decided I should say yes to, and got really upset, got anger tantrums, and I just watched a 3-year-old kid getting into moods that are just amazing, and he couldn't control himself anymore, because that makes a narcissist very unsettled. If you suddenly have a good balance, even though, as I said, I was weak in those weeks of interacting with him, that he didn't even get it. He didn't even get in which phase I was. So is he even getting you? Like, if you have a problem, can you really come up to him? Was a no with me. If I had an opinion about something, it was to 99% that we were not the same opinion. So did we have like a base and foundation of a friendship? No. I could really say no. And then I asked myself, did he give me a bit of control over little things like holiday planning or eating out? The last eating out that we had, I was like, can't we just sit somewhere else? I just don't feel this place. And he said, yeah, but I wanted this. I said, okay, then let's go. I mean, if that is a discussion. So he was in control of how he planned everything. Like at the beginning of our relationship, he gave me always little hints over the day, like he's already booked this, and how do I think about that? All gone. So was I with him on the same team, on the same boat, going the same way? No. So every single question that I'm going to now question, I always had a no. And that was frightening for me. So that the other one was, does he love me? You can never know that. And that is nothing of your business, because even if you're in the most beautiful relationship until you die, the person can say he loves you, but only what you can feel of that love coming towards you will ever make you feel in love. And a narcissist will always tell you that he loves you. That's what is so wicked with them, that they say they love you, but they behave as if they hate you. So do I love him? And there came a clear no. Then I was shocked of myself, because I thought, oh my God, the next step of a narcissist, because they somehow plan, but then they somehow also act on instinct, was that he would ask for my hand. And I was like, if he gets down on one knee in the moment, in the phase I'm in right now, I would say a definite no. And often I thought to myself, in all these anger tantrums, what if there is a kid in between? What if on all the journeys and all my daily life, I have to cope with the kid and the narcissist? And I had to really say I don't want that. So I said also, not I said, but he questioned something in me about our life goal, and I said no to it. I said a very clear no because I didn't feel it, I didn't see it. And I didn't see it happening because he couldn't show me that he could be in a happy, bubbly kind of way with me in daily life when everything was right and good, and then suddenly investing into something that is in a total different country didn't make sense to me. So I thought, does he have consequence thinking? Like, did he prove to me in 4.5 years, does he have consequence thinking? And there was a clear no. There was a really clear no to me. Then he was like a little cat when we were in daily life and he had seasonal work. He was like a cat. So he would, like, a bit sneaky, like coming around the corner, and then very silent, like you wouldn't think he needs special attention or special behavior from other people. But as soon as we left that little village, either the people at the petrol station or at the airport, taxis, hotels we walked into, places we were, it was more about him having a special treatment. Like we sometimes, because we never had time, now I can do everything in my space, in my time. Like just an example, New York. I said, why don't we quickly take the metro? We just stayed there for 2 days. And he said, yeah, I don't want to be with other people who smell and they just jerk off on the train. And I thought, what kind of reaction is that to a very practical opinion I have of how I can quickly maneuver, like I did right now in Rome. Some things you do per metro, some you do per walking, some you do per Uber. You can do so many things. There are not, there's not just this one rental car. That's what I also think. These narcissists have such a. It's just like it doesn't open up. And I must say, I asked myself, have you been through shocking events in the last months? And I had to tell myself yes. So are you interested in going further with this? Like, on which hope are you betting that it will get better? And I said, there is no. And when I had the moment of there is no hope, my whole life changed. It went, of course, as if the door opened up and you just have the dark night of the soul and you're going down the universe, like really Alice in Wonderland. You have no idea how this will go out. Now thinking, if I would go through the same thing again, of course you can't do that and you shouldn't think about the past. I don't do that normally, but with that, I just think sometimes, like, why didn't I just stay in a state of grace that would have given me, like I am right now, I'm in a state of grace with myself. And I don't know why I gave so much energy into such a dysfunctioning relationship. That's something you have to ask yourself. I gave 90% of my energy into something that was dysfunctioning, and the people who would have loved to be with me, I just gave 10%. And that is something where I just stand there right now and I think, if I could go back, if I would switch that, because it was really time wasted, total time wasted. But of course afterwards you are much more intelligent and you can see things much brighter and better as you are in this moment. Then I asked myself, he always gave me the feeling that, as I said, I'm not good enough. And I thought, it doesn't matter what I do. Even if I do absolutely nothing and I'm just traveling, which I'm doing right now. I'm not doing absolutely nothing. I'm doing videos and a lot of other things, but what the normal daily life includes, I don't do. And just see what happens with that. I mean, it can't get worse than being with a person who doesn't listen to you. So I asked myself, will you be better off in the future? Can you see yourself in certain places and just opening up like a blossom? And it came yes, awkwardly, because I was terrified. And there was something inside of me that just said, yes, 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 do that. It just was like a pull. It was like, yeah, go that direction. You can always go back, not to the narcissist, I would never do that, but you can always go back to a certain lifestyle, you can always decide and change. So I thought this opens right up right now, so you have to grab the opportunity to, yeah, have the best moments of your life that you can always recall and always, jump back on in your memories. And I do believe in God, so I've become as if, yeah, you just have like this moment of God has your back. It's nothing that I could have ever experienced with a narcissist. So that's the question that I asked myself. Will I, doesn't matter if we do a world tour, ever have a feeling of I'm enough, I've been seen by him, they are not cuddly people, they are not like this, they don't have, I always say they don't have touch. Even though he had healing hands, it was funny because he had warm hands and he could put them on parts of the body, and it really felt better afterwards, awkwardly. But in normal daily life, those hands were like never to be seen. Never to be seen. And as I said, that's something I'm interested in others, if the narcissist really had this loving touch, because I had different experiences of that, and the people who weren't narcissists always had loving touches. So that's another thing I asked myself. Does he have a loving touch towards me? No. And if I'm already with someone, I can be alone and then I don't have loving touch. And if I'm with someone, do you expect that? And I said, yes, that's what I expect from it. I'm smelling pizza or pasta. So I have to go for an eat soon. I love the Italian lifestyle. It always opens up hearts. It's such an old, beautiful culture. I love it. Yeah, another question that I asked myself was, does he treat everyone the same way? And also a no. He treated his boss standing there with his suit or something really good on and just smiling and charismatically, putting that person around the finger. I thought, wow, if he does it with her, of course he's doing it with me, or did it with me 4 years ago. Now he's not even interested in putting me around the finger. So I really asked myself, who do I want to have next to myself? Who does he have to represent? And there were not a lot of factors that he could really, that I could tick off. That's what you do. You tick off, well, am I attractive? Are we friends? Are we good? Do we have a good foundation? Do we plan together? Do we organize together? Do we see things the same way? I mean, you don't have to see everything the same way. You can just discuss things through. That's even interesting. But with a narcissist, you will just have a monologue of him 3 hours, and you will have his opinion at the end. So I was like, and if I had kids, how would I describe them? How he ticks? Doesn't work. So yeah, I think maybe even some narcissists do some good sex with people that they meet. Not even that was wasn't important anymore, and it wasn't the connection that I represent in my life. So all these things I could just say no to. And all that was important for him was reputation, his job, his income, where he has been. The next holiday we would have done would have been just ticking off the last European countries that we haven't visited yet, which is very awkward. And these things are very important. So what is so important for me, for being connected with my heart, wasn't so important for him. So I thought, if I would just think of him as a friendship, I wouldn't text him again. But why do they lure you into so many things that you just think, I have to be with him? But I think it's just also it's a habit that you just come through the same door. You think you're being heard, but you're not heard. It's like a game of 2-3-year-olds that doesn't work. You know, that they don't even recognize themselves. And I just felt like, is that who I want to represent in life when I am with him? And that's really when I went through a week of hell, where I thought, wow, not one moment. There is just not one moment. Even if I'm at workplace, I'm not thinking of him. If I think of him, I'm just in anger. I'm just in, oh my God, what is going to be about this? And what? I was always like, this is not how it should feel in my heart when I think about a person I love. And I went through all these questions in my mind, like, what kind of a woman do I want to represent? And if I'm a representative of the universe with an open heart, do I tolerate this because I can, because I have the strength? Or do I set out into the universe and see what happens with that? And as I say in every single video, I just emphasize that you do that, because you will blossom, you will bloom. Be better off alone. Who cares in that moment? And not just who cares, but just imagine who you can be when you are totally alone and no one is blabbering around you. And that's how it came out. I thought that was the question I asked myself. Can I be the full woman that I want to be when I'm with him? No. I never felt good with my clothes around him. I never felt good with my hair or my makeup or how we went through certain places. It was always, I don't know, there was something always wrong. And he would have said to me, if he would have heard that right now, that I'm just imagining things into this, but it wasn't. It was really feeling the lowest, and now I'm feeling the highest. So there is a difference. Now I know how it feels. And that's how you can question yourself. How do I feel with this? So how do I feel as a woman? Like, as I just told you, all these things weren't working. Now I just feel like I can only describe it as a blossoming flower. Like, it's like in the last months and weeks, there was like one petal after the other coming out, and it's like everyone is allowed to look inside. They were allowed to look inside before, but now it's like just sit in that center if you want to. I never had that. If you would have experienced me coming from work where there was already a narcissist, going to the next narcissist, which was my partner, I think you would have been shocked. A lot of my friends sometimes said to me, wow, you've lost weight, you look stressed. Not the case anymore right now. I enjoy the sun, I enjoy water, I enjoy everything around me at the moment. If you can't do these things that I'm doing right now, do them in little things around you. There is a spa in your place, just go for a whole day. Leave something as dysfunctional as a narcissistic relationship, and just put your time and effort and money into experiences that just want to lift you up and not tear you down. Then I asked myself, like in any friendship, do I trust him? And then there's suddenly this no. There was this, no, I don't trust him. I don't trust him where he is. He stayed away sometimes the whole night. At the beginning of the relationship, I was always like, I was so trusting. I thought, oh yeah, he's staying just because we lived one village away from where he had to work, and he's staying, wherever. At the end, I was just like, there was like such an awkward feeling in me. I thought it was a big, big no. Friendship, no. Future, do we have a future together? It was a huge, big no for me. Like, even if I wanted to please him, which of course we empaths want to do, we want to hang on to that and just, we want to please, like we're used to that. We've had narcissistic parents. I was used to pleasing them until a certain point, and then I didn't anymore. It was awkward that I came up with this by myself with my parents. I was like, I don't need to please you in any kind of a way. You don't have to please me, and I don't have to please you. It's a normal, if two people meet, and it doesn't matter who it is, if it's parents, if it's colleagues, if it's your love relationship, if it's your children, if it's strangers on the street, either something works by natural energy or it doesn't. And people who want to stick with a narcissist, they want to make something work that just doesn't work. It's like you want to put the magnets together and they're just always... But every evening you come with those magnets and you try and it's just, you're just so busy with these two magnets and you just don't see what's going on in life. You don't see how the weather is, you don't see what time it is, you don't see what your needs are. You don't see the friendship you have to yourself, because I was like, I don't even have time to be with myself. And that's when that became much more important than having a secure job. So I thought to myself, this time of my life will never come back, to get to know myself, to blossom, to become the best version that I want to be. And now I can say to every single thing that I just asked, yes, 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 to myself, and very patiently wait until everything else functions with another partner in it. I know now the red flags of narcissism, and listen very carefully and watch very carefully how others behave around me and if they want to be with me. And a girlfriend of mine now in Rome told me, she said, Romy, first God will make you chase God. And if everything works out, there will come a day where a man will chase you and you won't chase him. So believe me, when you get up from that relationship of a narcissist, they won't chase you. They will hoover you. That is something different. A man who really wants to be with you and wants to connect to your heart will not come up with this kind of behavior, because they will have consequences. And if a man wants to be with me, he will be with me. And he will chase me around the world if he wants that. And when that day comes, doesn't matter. Because up until then, I am chasing myself, as I said, to become the best version and to become also my best friend. Because we are on so many journeys together, and we are just in bed together, we are eating together, we are everywhere together. And it's a friendship and a love that has to be first in place, and that's what we didn't do before we met the narcissist, and then everything else falls into place. But don't try to hang on to these magnets that don't work. So I wish you a lot of self-healing. I wish you a lot of strength, because it takes a lot of strength. That's the biggest strength I had was the moment I took all my plastic bags, all my luggages, everything I needed, and I left. And I left.